As we age, bladder control becomes a daily challenge, even when no serious medical condition is present. That feeling when you're taking a peaceful walk in the park and suddenly have to search for a restroom, or waking up 3 times on a cold winter night just to urinate, while your back aches and your legs are no longer as agile as before. Many women over 60 believe this is just a normal part of aging. But is it really? You start avoiding long trips simply out of fear that you won't make it to the toilet in time. And you blame yourself thinking, maybe I'm just getting weak. But the real cause often lies in small, seemingly harmless habits that most people easily fall into. What's unfortunate is that many women continue to suffer in silence. They don't realize that drinking water late in the evening, sitting too long in front of the TV, or even the habit of holding in urine when busy, all of these quietly weaken the bladder day by day. If you feel like you're in that situation, don't worry. You absolutely can make a change. With small adjustments to your daily habits, you'll notice a clear difference, both physically and mentally. In today's video, we'll explore 7 bad habits that are silently damaging bladder control in older women. I'll also share simple, practical solutions that you can start applying right at home. If you find this topic helpful, please hit like and share it with loved ones, so more women can be informed and take better care of themselves. Have you ever experienced an awkward situation because of nighttime urination or frequent trips to the bathroom? Leave a comment. Your story could help others feel less alone. Let's begin this journey of change, starting with the smallest things. You may have heard somewhere, before leaving the house, remember to drink a glass of water so you won't get thirsty. It sounds reasonable, even like a smart health tip. But in reality, this is one of the most common habits that puts unnecessary pressure on the bladder, especially for older women. Why is that? Imagine you're about to go to the market or attend a gathering with friends. Before stepping out, you drink a full glass of water, just in case you get thirsty, even though your body doesn't actually need it. A few dozen minutes later, while you're on the road or in the middle of a conversation, a sudden urge to urinate strikes, fast and strong, leaving you with no time to react. This is not only inconvenient, but for seniors, also a source of anxiety, reduced confidence, and a significant decline in quality of life. When you consume a large amount of water in a short time, especially when you're not thirsty, your body doesn't have enough time to distribute that water to the organs that need it. Instead, the kidneys quickly filter it out through urine. This means your bladder is forced to work harder at an inopportune moment. For younger people, this may not have a noticeable effect. But for older women whose pelvic floor muscles are weakening and bladder control is declining with age, this becomes a battle the body can hardly win. What you need is simply to adjust how you manage water intake each day. Instead of drinking lots of water right before going out as a precaution, start training yourself to listen to your body. Only drink when you genuinely feel thirsty. And rather than waiting until you're about to leave to gulp down water, focus on staying hydrated steadily throughout the morning. Morning is the ideal time to replenish most of the water your body needs. When your digestive system is active, your organs are waking up after a long night, and your bladder still has plenty of capacity. If you've already hydrated well in the morning, by the time you need to go out, you won't feel the need to drink just in case. Here's another small tip. Carry a small water bottle with you, not to chug large amounts, but to sip slowly when needed, helping you stay hydrated without suddenly stressing your bladder. Especially during long trips or crowded events. Plan ahead for restroom stops. This doesn't make you fussy. On the contrary, it shows you understand your body and are proactively taking care of your health in a smart way. You can start today. Next time you're about to leave the house, try asking yourself, am I really thirsty? If the answer is no, skip that just-in-case glass of water. You'll notice the difference after just a few days, feeling lighter, more confident, and less dependent on the need to find a restroom as soon as possible. Remember, bladder control isn't just a physiological issue. It's a key to living more freely, comfortably, and independently every day. There's a habit many people maintain unconsciously, drinking tea, water, or even a glass of warm milk before bedtime. It sounds reasonable, both relaxing and a way to replenish fluids after a long day. But what few people realize is that this seemingly healthy habit is one of the main causes of nighttime urination, a key factor that disrupts deep sleep in older women. Even a single glass of water at 8 p.m. can wake you up in the middle of the night. And it doesn't stop at inconvenience. It brings a host of physical and mental consequences. Interrupted sleep, especially at an age when rest is more important than ever, leads to prolonged fatigue. Sleep deprivation contributes to memory decline, lack of focus, high blood pressure, and even increased risk of nighttime falls, especially when you have to get out of bed in a half-asleep state to use the bathroom. Beyond physical effects, waking up multiple times at night adds stress, irritability, and gradually lowers your overall quality of life. For older women, this can easily lead to a cycle of isolation, mild depression, and a fading joy for life. The good news is, you don't need to give up your evening water intake completely. Just adjust it a little. Stop drinking water at least 2 hours before going to bed. If you typically go to bed at 10 p.m., make sure you've had your last drink by 8 p.m. This gives your kidneys enough time to process and eliminate excess fluids before you sleep. Additionally, instead of drinking water directly, you can eat water-rich vegetables like cucumbers, lettuce, watermelon, or have a light vegetable soup during dinner. The body absorbs water from food more slowly, helping reduce the risk of triggering the bladder overnight. You should also monitor your body's response. Everyone has a different water tolerance. Try tracking your evening water intake and the number of times you wake to urinate at night over the course of a week, simply by jotting it down in a notebook or your phone. You'll begin to see a clear connection between your habits and the results, making adjustments easier. Changing your evening water drinking habits isn't difficult if you approach it step by step. You can start by setting a stop drinking reminder on your phone at 7:30 p.m. Prepare water-rich dishes for dinner instead of drinking extra liquids afterward. Create a relaxing evening routine that doesn't involve beverages like reading, listening to soft music, or soaking your feet in warm water. These small steps not only help reduce nighttime urination, but also improve sleep quality, which is increasingly vital with age. A full night's sleep will give you renewed energy for the next day. You'll wake up with a clear mind, more physical flexibility, and feel more confident in your daily activities. More importantly, when you realize you can take control over this very real part of aging, you no longer feel powerless in your own body. Start tonight. Don't wait until nighttime trips to the bathroom disrupt you too much before making a change. Just a few small adjustments can bring big differences, not just in your sleep, but in how you experience life every single day. Sitting for long periods without movement may seem harmless, especially when you're relaxing, watching TV, or reading a book. But what many people don't realize is that this seemingly innocent habit is actually a silent contributor to pelvic floor muscle weakening over time, which can lead to urgency, leakage, or even full loss of bladder control. The pelvic floor acts like a hammock supporting the bladder, uterus, and intestines. When you sit too long without changing position or engaging in light movement, these muscles become sluggish, less flexible, and gradually lose their ability to contract effectively. This is especially true for older women, whose bodies are already undergoing natural decline, making prolonged sitting even more detrimental. Moreover, sitting for too long negatively affects blood circulation in the lower abdomen, leading to stagnation and increased internal pressure on the bladder. This is why many people suddenly feel the urge to urinate or struggle to hold it during periods of inactivity, such as long car rides or watching extended TV programs. The good news is, by making a few small changes to your daily routine, you can significantly reverse this condition. First, get into the habit of standing up and walking around lightly every 30 to 45 minutes of sitting. You don't need to do intense exercise. Simply standing up, taking a lap around your home, stretching, or doing a few simple mobility movements is enough to activate the pelvic floor muscles and maintain flexibility in your lower abdomen. Second, practice pelvic floor exercises, especially Kegel exercises, daily. This is an incredibly simple yet effective method for strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. All you need to do is gently contract the muscles as if trying to hold in urine. Hold for 5 seconds, then relax. Repeat this about 10 to 15 times per session and aim for 2 to 3 sessions a day. You can do this while sitting, lying down, or even while watching TV. No equipment needed, no time lost. Lastly, if you work a desk job or lead a sedentary lifestyle, consider setting up movement reminders on your phone or smartwatch. A gentle chime every 45 minutes can serve as an effective nudge to check in with your body and get moving. By taking the initiative to move and activate your pelvic floor muscles, you not only improve your bladder control, but also boost blood circulation, relieve back pain, and lower your risk of varicose veins, common issues that come with aging and inactivity. You don't need to change everything in one day. Start with one small action. Stand up and walk around each time you change the TV channel, or sneak in a few Kegel reps while waiting for the washing machine to finish. These seemingly minor habits, when practiced consistently, can make a big difference to your bladder health, and more importantly, to your overall quality of life. Sometimes, whether due to being busy, being in a public place where it's inconvenient, or simply thinking, it's not urgent yet, you decide to hold your urine a little longer. It might seem harmless. Who hasn't done this before? But if holding in urine becomes a regular habit, you are silently causing serious damage to your bladder. We are often taught from a young age to hold it in a little, that waiting until a TV show ends or finishing work before going to the bathroom is normal. But the bladder is not an unlimited container. When you repeatedly delay urination, the bladder becomes overly stretched. Over time, the bladder muscles lose their natural elasticity, weakening their ability to contract and send timely signals to the brain. The result? You begin to lose the natural urge to urinate at the right time. Instead, the need comes suddenly, urgently, and sometimes uncontrollably. Additionally, keeping urine in the body for too long increases the risk of urinary tract infections, a common and uncomfortable issue for older women. The great news is that you can change this. The first step is to reestablish your bladder's natural biological rhythm. Instead of waiting until you can't hold it anymore, develop the habit of urinating regularly every 3 to 4 hours. Even if you don't feel the urge strongly, when it's time, allow your bladder to empty gently and consistently. This helps the bladder maintain its elasticity, ensures signals to the brain function properly, and significantly reduces the risk of leakage. When you're out, especially in public or unfamiliar places, plan ahead by identifying clean and easily accessible restrooms. This helps you stay proactive and provides peace of mind, so you're not forced to hold it until you get home. Additionally, avoid drinking too much water right before leaving the house, as mentioned earlier, to reduce unnecessary pressure on the bladder while on the move. A simple yet effective tip: set a timer or gentle reminder on your phone every 3 hours. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a proactive step to protect an important organ that's often neglected. By respecting your body's signals, you not only improve bladder function, but also regain a sense of control, something many people believe is lost with age. You'll feel more in charge, no longer trapped by the anxiety of not knowing when you'll need a bathroom. And if you've ever thought, at my age, it doesn't matter anymore, remember, it's the small actions you take today that determine whether you'll live healthily, freely, and fully each day. Many people believe that drinking lots of water is the best way to stay healthy, and that's not wrong. But drinking more isn't always better, and not every time of day is ideal for constantly refilling your body with fluids. Especially for older women, drinking too much water, particularly in the late afternoon or evening, can lead to a series of uncomfortable consequences, from nighttime urination to increased risk of falling in the dark. You may have heard the advice, drink 2 liters of water a day, and tried to follow it by consuming large amounts during your free time. But when too much water enters the body too quickly and at the wrong time, it puts a heavy burden on the bladder. This not only leads to frequent urination and urgency, but also disrupts sleep, an essential factor in physical recovery for older adults. Recurring nighttime urination carries an even greater risk: falling in the dark when rushing out of bed to use the bathroom. This is a common cause of serious injuries like hip fractures in the elderly, something that can drastically reduce quality of life overnight. The solution is not to cut back on water, but to distribute it wisely throughout the day. Aim to drink water steadily from morning to afternoon, focusing mainly between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. In the evening, limit intake to the minimum, sipping only small amounts if you're truly thirsty. Also, keep track of your total daily water intake. Typically, older women need about 1.5 to 2 liters per day, depending on activity level and weather conditions. You can use a water bottle with measurement markings to monitor how much you've drunk and divide that amount into time blocks. For example, drink around 700 milliliters in the morning, 500 milliliters at noon, 300 milliliters in the afternoon, and no more than 200 milliliters after 6 p.m. if needed. Additionally, include water-rich foods like vegetables and fruits in your diet to reduce the pressure of getting hydration solely from drinks. These natural sources of water are absorbed more slowly, are less likely to trigger the bladder, yet still keep your body adequately hydrated. A reasonable water drinking habit not only helps you sleep more soundly, but also improves your bladder control. You'll feel more confident when traveling, less anxious about not finding a restroom right away, and you'll reduce those awkward nighttime moments where waking up and groping around in the dark just to urinate can become a real hazard. Be patient and listen to your body. It may take about a week to get used to adjusting your water drinking schedule. But once you feel the clear difference, from sleeping through the night to waking up refreshed, you'll know you're on the right path. Taking care of your bladder doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes just knowing when to drink and how much is enough can help you quietly but effectively protect your health each and every day. You may pay close attention to how much water you drink each day, but may not realize that what you eat can also directly affect your bladder, and in some cases, it can be even more irritating than fluids. Common foods like tomatoes, citrus fruits, spicy dishes, coffee, alcohol, and artificial sweeteners can irritate the bladder lining, leading to urgency, frequent urination, or even a burning sensation when urinating. The issue is, not everyone reacts the same way to these foods. Some people eat spicy food regularly without any problem, while for others, just one mildly spicy bowl of noodles is enough to make their bladder speak up. As we age, the bladder becomes more sensitive, and if you're experiencing urgency, frequent urination, or leakage, dietary control is something you shouldn't overlook. One of the first steps to understanding your body is keeping a food and symptom journal. You don't need to write down every detail, just jot down what you ate for lunch or dinner and whether you experience any unusual symptoms afterward. After a few weeks, you'll easily identify which trigger foods are causing abnormal bladder behavior. Once you've pinpointed irritating foods, you don't necessarily have to eliminate them completely, unless the reaction is severe. Instead, try consuming those foods earlier in the day, at lunchtime or early afternoon, when your body's more alert and better able to handle them, rather than late in the evening, when your bladder needs to rest and prepare for deep sleep. For example, if you enjoy a cup of coffee, have it early in the morning rather than after 3 p.m. If you crave something spicy, opt for lunchtime instead of dinner. At the same time, prioritize bladder-friendly foods for dinner, such as plain rice, boiled vegetables, lean meats, pumpkin, or low-acid fruits like bananas, apples, and honeydew melon. These meals are easy to digest and help your bladder relax before bedtime. Another important note, don't forget to drink enough water with your meals, but avoid consuming too much all at once. This helps dilute potential irritants and allows your bladder to process fluids more gently. When you begin to manage your food intake wisely, eating becomes less of a worry and more of a way to care for your body. You don't have to give up your favorite foods. Just adjust the timing and quantity to suit your needs. Food can either be medicine or a burden for your bladder. It all depends on how you use it. And when you learn to understand your body's language, you become your own best companion, proactive, sensitive, and full of self-compassion. When thinking about health, most people tend to focus on the heart, blood pressure, or joints. But there is one crucial area of the body that often gets overlooked, the pelvic floor. This is a group of muscles located at the base of the pelvis, responsible for supporting the bladder, uterus, and intestines, and for controlling urinary function. When the pelvic floor weakens, the most noticeable consequence is urinary leakage when coughing, laughing, lifting objects, or not making it to the bathroom in time. In reality, aging, childbirth, weight gain, or prolonged sitting can all contribute to the weakening of these muscles. But because the pelvic floor is a hidden muscle group, not visible and not accompanied by clear pain, Many people don't notice its gradual decline over time, until one day you realize you're beginning to lose control without understanding why. The problem is, without proper training, the pelvic floor muscles will continue to weaken. And once they are too weak to support the bladder, every other solution becomes just a temporary fix rather than addressing the root cause. This leads to a sense of lost control, embarrassment, reduced mobility, and gradually causes you to retreat from the active life you once enjoyed. But the good news is, the pelvic floor can be trained and strengthened at any age. The most effective solution is the Kegel exercise. This is a simple technique that requires no equipment, can be done anywhere, and helps strengthen the muscles of the pelvic floor. All you need to do is tighten the muscles as if you're trying to hold in urine. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions each time, and repeat 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. With consistent practice, you'll notice a clear improvement in bladder control and a gradual reduction in leakage or urgency. In addition, you can incorporate gentle exercises like the bridge pose, lying down and lifting your hips, to further support the pelvic floor. These movements not only restore muscle function, but also improve flexibility and resilience in the entire hip region, which is essential for maintaining independence in middle and older age. If you have difficulty getting started or are unsure whether you're doing it correctly, don't hesitate to consult a physical therapist or a pelvic floor specialist. They can guide you through proper techniques and tailor exercises to your personal condition. Don't think it's too late to start. Every gentle contraction you perform is one step closer to regaining control, confidence, and freedom in your daily life. Bladder health doesn't begin with medication or avoiding certain foods. It starts at the very foundation that supports it, the pelvic floor. Taking care of this muscle group is an investment in the freedom, comfort, and independent quality of life that you absolutely deserve at any age. Thank you for taking the time to listen and stay with me until the end of this journey. I truly appreciate your care and commitment to your personal health, something not everyone is willing to actively prioritize. Together, we've explored 7 seemingly harmless habits that can deeply impact bladder control, from drinking water at the wrong time, holding in urine, to neglecting pelvic floor health. More importantly, you now hold in your hands simple, practical, and easy-to-implement solutions to gradually change each of these habits. So which of these made you stop and think, I've been doing this wrong? What do you feel would be the easiest change for you, and which one might take more effort? Please share openly, because your experience might just be the reminder someone else needs, someone silently struggling in the same way. If you found this series helpful, don't hesitate to click like, share it with friends, or save it for future reference. Every share is not just support, it's an act of kindness for public health. I hope you'll continue joining me in the next videos, where we'll learn together how to listen to our bodies, respect the changes that come with age, and live a life that is intentional, peaceful, and empowered. Because you deserve the freedom in every step, every night's sleep, and every journey without the worry of urgently needing a restroom. And always remember, it's never too late to start caring for your body again, from the smallest of things. See you in the next video.